this is going to be a state-by-state decision. So Hawaii might be able to follow through with this and obviously stymie some gun rights, but this will not happen in Idaho, you were explaining.
Well, it will not, because Idaho has been very proactive for years on this very subject. The law, and I'm no legal scholar here, but I do have some walk-around understanding of the gun laws here in Idaho. The law that is in question, and the law that was basically on trial at the Ninth Circuit, was a Hawaiian law that, and Idaho had a similar law back in the 90s. And in fact, in 1990, we changed the law in question, and so we're in good shape with regard to that. And the court was deferential to, in this case, to Hawaiian law. And of course, Hawaii's gun laws are very different from Idaho's. I think the take-home message is that in 1990 we changed the law that would make us vulnerable to a decision like the Hawaii decision. But in addition, well, in fact, in 2014, Idaho became a gun sanctuary state. I mean, we passed it was Senate Bill 1332 that year that amended Title 18. Anyway, it basically says that, and it prohibits any member of any Idaho law enforcement organization from enforcing any federal executive order, any agency order, any law or rule that prohibits the use of personal firearms, firearm accessories, or ammunition. It's one of the strongest laws in the United States. We're consistently ranked as one of the highest, if not one of the highest, gun-friendly states in the union. So we have seen this coming and have taken steps in that direction all through the years. So of all the things that we have to worry about, I mean, yeah, we have to worry about the positions of the Biden administration, but we're as well prepared as a state to fight those as any state in the union, I believe.
You mentioned that too, and even though the Ninth Circuit has made this ruling, the lawyer for the man who brought the case in the first place is a guy named Alan Beck, and as I understand it, he said that he's likely going to try to petition the Supreme Court and to get this settled once and for all. And that composition of that court is obviously slightly different, at least from the Ninth Circuit.
Thank you, President Trump.
Well, it seems so that every time I turn around, and this morning I'm looking at this story, there's a story, there's a gun case being argued in front of the High Court right now, I believe out of Rhode Island. The president made some comments about all of these things yesterday and essentially said that, yes, he's going to be moving fast, and he said he may take executive action. Now, that again might also be subject to court cases, but it does seem that the Second Amendment, you mentioned trial earlier, Second Amendment right now is on trial.
It is. And but Idaho has seen this coming. I mean, we have, through the years, very meticulously, with a ton of research, prepared for this day. And in fact, from the very first day of Idaho statehood, I mean, read our Second Amendment that's in our Constitution. It's Article 1, Section 11. It's very specific. It's very it's stronger than the United States Constitution when it comes to specificity of what Idaho citizens can and cannot do with guns. And we are very fortunate to have as strong a gun laws as we do on the books. But that has not come by chance. I mean, we have sat down each year, and as every issue comes up, we have got the best people that we can possibly find to do the research, to do the drafting, and we feel like we're in pretty good shape here in the state of Idaho and other rankings. I mean, if you read the latest ranking from Guns and Ammo magazine, I mean, it ranks Idaho at the very top of all of the states in the union. And of course, Hawaii towards the bottom, because they have not been diligent, neither do they have the political will to make the necessary changes to stand up against federal encroachment in this area.
And I can imagine you were pointing out that the Ninth Circuit essentially said they will allow the states to make these decisions. So you'd probably have Hawaii, Washington, Oregon, California go one way, but I could see where Alaska would be closer to Idaho. So the individual cultures of these states are going to still prevail.
Yes, I believe that that's true. The Ninth Circuit is very diverse politically. I think that's putting it mildly, frankly. But anyway, and our congressional delegation has tried repeatedly to get Idaho out of the Ninth Circuit, but have at this point have failed. But anyway, I think we're in good shape with regard to gun laws.
Well, I heard this comment yesterday. Take a listen to this. This is from the vice president. She was speaking on CBS News. And this is where I think it's going to start getting a little difficult for some people when it comes to gun ownership.
Because I'm going to tell you something. I've been working on this for a long time. I actually thought that Sandy Hook would have been the thing that moved Congress. When 26 and 7-year-old babies were slaughtered, and they did not act. And they did not act. It is time for Congress to act and stop with the false choices. This is not about getting rid of the Second Amendment. It's simply about saying we need reasonable gun safety laws. There is no reason why we have assault weapons on the streets of a civil society. They are weapons of war.
When I hear that, when she says reasonable, I don't know how you define that. She didn't. But their definition of reasonable is going to be different than ours.
This was let's remember that she was one of the top law enforcement members of the state of California, and their laws were completely different than ours, and obviously her perspective on the Second Amendment is completely different than ours. And they will try to crowd it, but there were many laws broken in all of these mass shootings. The laws that we already had on the books were broken. And law-abiding citizens should not have their right to keep and bear arms infringed, period.